What's up guys, Jaden here. Welcome back to another YouTube video. And I was thinking of creating a video that goes through like my top 5 to 10 productivity tips, ways to stay focused, ways to get most done with your time, ways to keep you on track. But then I asked myself this one question. If there was only one tip that I can give, only one, I can choose only one, what would that one tip be? And that's why this tip I think will be the most helpful if I can only pick one. And so I think this will be a really quick video because it's a really simple tip that I have, but I like if I were to pick one out of all the things that I do, like diet wise, like I fast, I there's scheduling, there's planning, there is finding an outlet like working out, like going for boxing classes and stuff like that, right? But if there's only one tip that I think is the most beneficial when it comes to productivity, when it comes to making sure that I stay focused and I get the most done with my time, this is the one tip. And so I think this tip is going to be very obvious, but we still do it a lot of times. And this is my one tip. Get rid of your mobile phones. Get rid of your mobile phones before you go to bed, and get rid of your mobile phones in the morning. Okay. Now, a lot of us know mobile phones are meant to be like they are distracting. Like we are not supposed to use them at night. We're also not supposed to use them in the morning. We know that like it's distracting. It's meant to give us a lot of dopamine hits. It's meant to, the device is structured in a way that it wants us to spend time. It wants to capture our attention, right? So let's face it, all of us know it. Like I know it. I know I'm not supposed to use my mobile phone right before I sleep. I also know that I'm not supposed to use my phone early in the morning. But like if I were to recall back every single time when I had a productive work day was when I did not use my phone early in the morning, which is something that I strive to do. Almost like 90% of my days are like that. But on 10% of those days, I still fall victim to the mobile phone, right? On some days when I wake up, I still check my messages and check my socials. And I know for a fact that on those days, it's more difficult for me to stay productive. And so my problem with this is when I'm using the mobile phones at night, right? I'm also going to share with you how you can actually get rid of this. Actually, it's very simple. And most often than not, the solution is actually pretty simple. It's just that we don't execute on it, right? So, when I was going to bed, every time, like when I was going through like brainstorming ideas for this video, right? The question of what is the one tip that I can give, which is this one tip, which is eliminate your mobile phones. I was going through the thought process of why would I recommend this tip, right? Because on days that I know that I'm not productive, I know for a fact that either the night before I was using my mobile phone, or the day itself, early in the morning, I was using my mobile phone. I know for a fact that when on days that I'm not productive, this is the most common pattern that I notice. And likewise, on days that I don't use my mobile phones, I off my mobile phones early in the morning, I don't use them at all. On those days, I know that I'm the most productive. Okay. And this is what stood out to me. And that's why I'm sharing this tip with you guys, right? Because all of us, like I mentioned, all of us know that mobile phones are distracting, but we still use them anyway because the mobile phones are it's structured in a way that is meant to capture our attention, like for us to spend a lot of time scrolling and stuff like that. So yeah, if there's one tip that I can give you guys, it's during your bedtime, remove mobile phones. In the morning, remove mobile phones. Now, if let's say you are somebody like me, for example, and you're used to using mobile phones, right? What's the first step that you can do? There's two steps. The first step that you can do is you can introduce friction first. So when you introduce friction, it's taking you more time to do a certain task, right? So for example, the first step to introduce friction for your bedtime is, when you're going to bed, if you're using your mobile phones, once you finish using your mobile phones, you need to put your mobile phone in a place where it's not within your eyesight, right? Either put it in another room, and some of you guys may be using this for your alarm clock, buy a different alarm clock, right? You need to introduce friction to it, right? Buy a different alarm clock, use another alarm clock, but do not use your phone do not use your mobile phone as an alarm clock, and put this out of your sight, okay? Either in another room or in your kitchen or in a drawer in your kitchen, whatever it is, you want to introduce friction to it first. Okay. And so what happens is during the night, you are able to not get distracted because, like I mentioned, if your phone is just right beside you, you're always going to want to check, right? If you can't sleep, you're always going to want to go to your phone and check your phone because it's too convenient. And what happens also early in the morning, reaching for your phone in the morning is not the first thing that you would do, right? So that's the first thing, right? Introduce friction to it so that now instead of your mobile phone being readily available just next to you, you actually have to take a few steps. Either go to your kitchen or go to somewhere where you're keeping your phone, right? That's introducing friction. That may work, right? That's the first step. But I use this step, which is step number 2, which is you eliminate the friction entirely. That means there's no friction at all. You remove the friction entirely. And so what I do is on the night before, right? The night before, during the bedtime, once I'm done using my phone, on some nights I still use my phone. But every single time when I'm done using my phone, I don't put my phone into airplane mode. I off my phone entirely. Okay. I switch off my phone entirely and I put it in a place where, again, it's at a place where it's not easily accessible, right? I put it in a drawer somewhere. But this is what I do, right? I off my phone entirely. And then in the morning, I know that my phone is off. So I'm not going to get notifications. I'm not going to get, any kind of distraction from my mobile phone. And it's still at a place where it's very difficult to access, right? So in this case, it's out of my eyesight. It's not on the tabletop where I can see where my mobile phone is. I eliminate the friction entirely. And this works wonders for me. Like I can tell you though, if there's, like I mentioned earlier, if there's only one tip, so instead of me giving you like 5 to 10 tips, right? This is the one tip. Remove your mobile phones at night and in the morning. You don't have to try this for like 30 days, right? Try it for 5 days. Just trust me, try it for 5 days. See if your productivity goes up. See if you are able to focus more. See if you are able to stay on track with your schedule, right? Don't have to try it for 30 days, just try for 5 days, right? Just eliminate your mobile phones. You can use them when, towards the noon, once you're done with kind of like your first session of work, but you don't want to use it immediately in the first thing in the morning, right? Unless if your work requires you to, then yes, probably you can maybe don't use your phone, but use your laptop or desktop to check your emails for work and stuff like that. But trust me, eliminate your mobile phones before you sleep and early in the morning. Just remove them entirely, eliminate them entirely, and try it for 5 days and see how it goes. So I actually teach this in the 5 SPF system where I show you how to stay productive and also give you ideas instead of what you can do to increase your focus instead of using your mobile phone. So if you're interested, you can feel free to check out the link below. And yeah, that's about it for this video actually. So it's a really quick one, but it's a really impactful one. So if you would like to ask any questions regarding productivity, regarding online businesses, regarding like marketing, SEO related stuff, feel free to join the new community group that I've created. It's called Optimize in Facebook. So you can go and the link is down in the description. Feel free to join, ask questions that you have. We're trying to build a really, really positive community. And if you like this video, please help me to press the like button and subscribe to the channel. So whenever a new video comes up, you'll be the first to be notified. With that being said, that's all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay safe, take care, and see you in the next one. Cheers.